welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Begin with our top stories. One person is reported to have died this morning on the road axis around Texaco Airport after motorcyclists collided with an oncoming truck in an attempt to navigate through the head of stray cows. To tell you more in this edition of Newscast. And the Minister of Transport Maritime Authority hereby informs the national and international community that within the framework of the ongoing reforms of the Cameroonian flag registry, the registration of floating devices carrying out navigation outside Cameroonian territorial waters is, as of this of signatory of the press release, suspended for a period of 6 months, renewable if necessary. And Planet versus Plastics is the theme of the 54th edition of the 2024 Earth Day, observed every April 22. These are recommended or commemorated every year to honor the achievements of environmental movements working to raise awareness on the need to protect the Earth's natural resources for future generations. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening, once more. Welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. One person is reported to have died this morning on the road axis around Texaco Airport after motorcyclists collided with an oncoming truck in an attempt to navigate through a herd of stray cows. More with our student journalist on internship, Christy Aya-Ari.
The accident occurred when the reckless rider attempted to get through cars, leading to a collision with an oncoming truck. Unfortunately, one person died on the spot with another seriously injured.
The driver was on the side post, so the cows get in the road. The driver was like trying to dodge those cows while the bike man that was carrying this brother here. There were two of them on the bike, and he got the bad side.
This alarming trend has prompted the local population to voice their concerns on the uncontrolled movement of cars in the city. Cars roaming freely without proper control measures has become a common occurrence. They say they are being assured. How can someone insure one car and its 150 cars can cover the whole city? Animals are not meant to live in town. They are supposed to be in the bush. Airport gendarmerie officers were there to carry out investigations to identify the deceased, while the injured was transported to a medical facility for treatment.
The Minister of Transport Maritime Authority hereby informs the national and international community that within the framework of the ongoing reforms of the Cameroonian flag registry, the registration of floating devices carrying out navigation outside Cameroon territorial waters is, as of date of signature of this press release, suspended for a period of 6 months, renewable if necessary. Physical census of the said vessels operating under the Cameroonian flag will be carried out during these periods in order to proceed with the digitalization of the register. I'll come back to that in our subsequent editions of Newscast. Planet versus Plastic. It is a theme of the 54th edition of the 2004 Earth Day, observed every April or 22 across the globe. The commemoration every year to honor the achievements, environmental movements working to raise awareness on the need to protect the earth and natural resources for future generations. Our newsroom asks environmental experts what alternative can be applied to living without plastics. More with our reporter, Saleh Sherifa.
According to expert organization estimations, Cameroon produces around 600,000 tons of plastic waste yearly. The country has been struggling to counter plastic pollution for years. In 2014, for example, the government banned the import, production and distribution of single-use plastics. It did not last for days, and you found plastics roaming back in our streets. While in Kenya and Rwanda, you cannot find someone with this. We don't have a good education on plastics in Cameroon. Nevertheless, the country was not successful in the implementation of the prohibition. Plastic waste dumped in nature do not decompose naturally, but instead take more than 1,000 years to break down into small particles that eventually release toxic chemicals into the same environment. In some countries like Ghana, people use these waste to produce construction materials. Even our neighboring country, Nigeria, does that too. If an investor presents himself to do such in our country, there will be a problem of authorization. There are free solutions. We just need to make good use of them. These chemicals then contaminate soil and water sources, posing a significant threat to human and wildlife health. Experts warn that the fight against plastic waste must be updated in order to significantly protect the environment.
And the Douala Military Hospital has organized a one-week campaign for free consultation and treatment in various illnesses, attracting a large number of people seeking medical attention. Specialists of all kinds would be at the scene to carry out free consultation. More with Christy Aya-Are.
The Second Region Military Hospital in Douala has initiated a health campaign aimed at providing free consultation and treatment to individuals suffering from various illnesses. The campaign has attracted a significant number of persons seeking medical assistance. We are here for the campaign, for the case of my child. Since I gave birth to him, his eyes have just been foaming. I'm here to see if it can be ameliorated.
Il faut que je vienne ici là pour voir si ça va s'améliorer. Ma tension était élevée.
I realized that my blood pressure had increased and they have prescribed me medicines. At this moment, they have sent me to an ophthalmology.
Je vais rencontrer mon ophtalmologue.
The hospital has gathered a team of specialists from different fields to provide medical advice and treatment. The goal of the campaign is to ensure that medical assistance is accessible to those who may not have the means to afford.
We are here to help them to have health, and we think that we expect 2,500 people to be seen during the whole week. All the specialties will be concerned because there are many of them. We start with the ophthalmology, neurology, biology, gynecology and pediatrics.
However, for persons with serious illnesses, a part of the fee may be required.
People will be seen freely without paying something. Only for the exams, for the biology and the imaging, that they pay for the half price of the amount of the exam.
The campaign is scheduled for 1 week. The population are called to come in their numbers.
And reports have shown that almost decades, the rate of birth registration has stagnated over the years, even declining in some regions of Cameroon, despite efforts by the state with the support of technical and financial partners. This disturbing situation leaves about 7 million Cameroonians without birth certificate, majority children in the nursery and primary schools. It is to change this trend that the government, with the support of UNICEF, will be organizing the first national forum of mayors on the universal birth registration in Cameroon by the end of the week. The Yaoundé Conference Center will play host to the second day event on Friday and Saturday that will cover the advantages and rights to be in possession of the first certificate, its role in the development of government policies and the different reforms in place to modernize the national civil status registration system, among others. The announcement was made by the Minister of Decentralization and Local Development during a press briefing today in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. Yes, an excerpt of Minister George Elanga Oban put together by our reporter, Beatrice Ngamo.
To date, there are almost 7 million Cameroonians without birth certificates, the majority of whom are children, including more than 1,500,000 primary and nursery school pupils. The importance of this document is well established, not only in the life of an individual, but also for a country. In legal terms, as well as being a fundamental right, birth registration is also essential to the exercise of many human rights, including the right to identity, parentage, access to certain basic social services such as health care and education, and the protection of children against age discrimination, abuse, and exploitation. From a statistical point of view, the registration of birth, as well as death and marriages, also plays an important role in the development of government policy and the identification of development problems. It contributes to better design and evaluation of development policies, as well as reliable forecasting of future demographic trends without necessarily going through a general population census.
And we now talk culture. We take you to discover the vibrant artistic hub of Foumban, Cameroon. Artists or craftsmen like Jikam Ali and Musharu Ismail, both craftsmen, stunning works of arts daily, but their craft is threatened by serious or numerous challenges. Amidst the beauty of their creations lie a plea for government support to sustain their livelihoods. More in the following story. In the hearts of Foumban, where creativity strives and artistry abounds, artisans Jikam Ali and Musharu Ismail toil tirelessly, fashioning exquisite objects of art from materials like clay, beeswax, cow dung, and natural bronze. Their workshop is a reflection of their daily lives. It's adorned with works in progress and proudly displayed statues, each telling a unique story of craftsmanship and tradition. For these artisans, their work is not merely a means of livelihood, it's a way of life, providing for their families and preserving their cultural heritage.
The primary and obligatory materials needed is the soil and cow excrement. When mixed with water, you can obtain any crafts of your choice. You mix the soil and water. After obtaining that mixture, you can carve anything you want, be it a leopard or whatever you want. After you draw in any form, you pour soil on it and put in an oven.
Yet, amidst the bustling activity of their workshop, they face a myriad of challenges, from scorching materials to navigating the complexities of the artisanal process. Every day presents new obstacles to overcome.
Our main challenge is that we don't have good raw materials. In previous years, we used to work with no problem, but now it's really difficult since we don't use any type of soil to manufacture these crafts with.
As ambassadors of Foumban's renowned art scene, they recognize the importance of their crafts, not only to their own livelihoods, but also to the cultural identity of their community. The streets of Foumban are adorned with their creations, drawing tourists from around the globe who are captivated by the rich tapestry of artistic expression that permeates the city. And we stay in culture, but this time I want to talk about a 34-year-old craft man who has turned the Raffia plant into a source of great wealth. He is breathing a new life into the art of using the Raffia bamboo to also beautify graves. Gladys Abodiban completes that story.
Diodene Noah Tokam, 34 years old, has spent the last 11 years mastering the craft of working with Raffia bamboo, a plant abundant in the marshy areas and savannas of the West region. This plant yields a variety of products, including the famed palm wine, commonly known as matango. The young man has embraced this resource, making it his profession, from constructing sheds to making furniture and even embellishing graves. He has transformed bamboo into a versatile medium for artistic expression.
I'm a creative artist. Sometimes I envisage unique creations with raffia that have never been made before, like flower jars and many others.
Diodone's journey into the world of bamboo craftsmanship began after secondary school, armed with nothing but a hammer, a knife, and a machete. With no formal training, he embarked on a mission to breathe life into the dry bamboo sticks, transforming them into art objects, furniture, and even ceilings, all with his unique touch.
Handcrafted and modern. Bamboo retains its bamboo, which could last up to 50 years.
At 45,000 CFA francs, Diodone offers families the chance to each telling a story of cultural heritage and craftsmanship.
When I receive a request to beautify a tomb, I typically begin by instructing the client to dig the grave to a depth of 1.4 meters and then raise it with just 2 rows of blocks. Following this, I proceed to craft the bamboo boards needed for its build. The fabrication process takes around 5 days, after which I spend approximately 30 minutes installing them.
However, Diodone's path is not without challenges.
The main challenge we face here is scarcity of bamboo. Many bamboo producers have switched to making tomato baskets, depleting the bamboo supply. Given the current trend, I'm not certain if we will have enough bamboo available for use in the next 5 years.
Nevertheless, Diodone remains optimistic about the future, harboring dreams of expanding his business and passing on his knowledge to aspiring artisans.
Thank you so much, Gladys Ambodibang, and that's how we saw it on this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Take another rendezvous, same time tomorrow. Good night.